Sometimes, it takes the innocence of a child to say out loud what the world is too blind to see. She didn't see a homeless woman. She saw someone who just needed love, someone who needed family. And with one unexpected sentence, "You need a home, and I need a mommy," a little girl changed two lives forever. The night was unusually cold for spring, the kind of chill that cut deeper when you had nothing to shield yourself from it. At a bus stop downtown, a young woman sat quietly on the bench, hugging her worn-out backpack tightly to her chest as if it could protect her from the world. Her name was Emily, only 23, but the weight of her struggles made her look older than her years. She had lost her job 6 months ago after the diner where she worked shut down. With no family to fall back on, no savings, and the rent piling up, she found herself out on the streets. Every night was a battle against hunger and cold, but worse than the physical pain was the loneliness that haunted her. People passed by daily, some throwing her pitying glances, others pretending she didn't exist. She had learned to shrink into herself, to expect nothing. That night, however, fate had something else planned. A little girl in a pink jacket skipped toward the bench, holding a doll with its hair tied in uneven pigtails. Her mother, a woman in her early 30s, trailed behind, distracted by her phone. The little girl noticed Emily sitting alone and stopped right in front of her, studying her face with curiosity instead of judgment. Emily forced a small smile, used to kids staring at her messy hair and tired eyes, but instead of walking away, the girl spoke. "Hi," she said brightly, her doll dangling from her small hands. Emily hesitated, then whispered, "Hi." The girl tilted her head and looked her straight in the eye. Then, with a simplicity that pierced the silence, she said, "You need a home, and I need a mommy." Emily froze, her heart skipping a beat. She hadn't expected kindness, let alone such words. The little girl's mother quickly rushed over, embarrassed, and gently pulled her daughter aside, muttering apologies to Emily. But Emily's eyes had filled with tears, tears she hadn't let fall in weeks. The little girl didn't know she had just spoken a sentence that would echo in Emily's soul forever. That night's bus never came. The mother, Sarah, noticed Emily still sitting on the bench, shivering under the dim streetlight. She hesitated but then turned to her daughter, who refused to let go of Emily's gaze. "Mommy, she's sad," the child insisted. Sarah sighed, torn between caution and compassion, but finally, she walked back to Emily. "Do you have somewhere to go tonight?" she asked gently. Emily shook her head, ashamed. Sarah hesitated again, but something in her daughter's innocent insistence nudged her heart. "Look," she finally said, "we're not far from here. Why don't you come with us, at least for tonight? Just a warm meal, a shower, nothing more." Emily's pride screamed to refuse, but her hunger and exhaustion overpowered it. She nodded slowly, whispering, "Thank you." Sarah led the way, her daughter bouncing beside Emily, proudly holding her hand as if she had just found treasure. Inside their small but cozy apartment, Emily felt like she had stepped into another world. The scent of home-cooked food lingered in the air, the walls decorated with family photos, warmth radiating everywhere. For the first time in months, she felt safe. Sarah handed her a towel and a change of clothes, and Emily stood under the shower until the water ran cold, scrubbing away weeks of dirt and despair. When she emerged, Sarah had set the table with soup and bread. The little girl, whose name was Lily, patted the seat beside her. "Sit here, Mommy," she said innocently. Sarah nearly choked, but Emily just smiled through her tears, her heart breaking at the sweetness of it all. Over dinner, Sarah learned Emily's story, her job loss, her eviction, her endless attempts to find work while carrying her backpack from one shelter to another. Sarah listened with empathy, realizing how quickly life could unravel. That night, Sarah let Emily sleep on the couch, but Lily insisted on tucking her in, placing her doll on Emily's chest before whispering, "Now you have a friend." Emily cried quietly in the dark, clutching the doll, wondering how a child's love could feel more healing than anything she had known. Days turned into weeks, and what started as a temporary shelter became something more. Sarah helped Emily search for jobs online, polish her resume, and apply at places she had been too discouraged to try alone. With Sarah's encouragement and Lily's constant cheer, Emily regained a strength she thought she had lost forever. Slowly, her confidence began to return. Then, one afternoon, Emily landed an interview at a community center for an administrative position. Nervous, she almost didn't go, but Lily had hugged her tightly before she left, saying, "Don't worry, Mommy, you'll do great." Those words gave Emily the courage she needed. She nailed the interview and was hired on the spot. When she came home to share the news, Sarah and Lily celebrated with cake from the corner bakery, clapping like it was the biggest achievement in the world. For Emily, it was. It was proof that she was not broken, that she could rebuild her life. Over time, she saved enough money to rent a small studio apartment nearby, but by then, her bond with Sarah and Lily had deepened into something unshakable. She wasn't just a guest anymore, she was family. Lily, with her boundless love, had filled the empty spaces in Emily's heart, and Sarah had become the sister she never had. Emily often thought back to that night at the bus stop, how one innocent sentence had become the foundation for everything she was rebuilding. She had gone from invisible to seen, from hopeless to hopeful. Months later, Emily stood on the stage at the community center during a fundraising event, sharing her story. She spoke about the struggles of homelessness, the loneliness, the shame, and then, with her voice trembling, she spoke about Lily. "One night, a little girl looked at me and didn't see a failure. She didn't see someone to be pitied. She just saw someone who needed love. She said, 'You need a home, and I need a mommy.' And in that moment, my life began to change." The audience was moved to tears, and donations poured in to support others in similar situations. After the event, Emily returned to the apartment she still visited almost daily, where Sarah and Lily were waiting with open arms. That evening, as they ate dinner together, Lily climbed onto Emily's lap and asked, "So, does that mean you're really my mommy now?" Emily's throat tightened as she hugged the little girl close. Sarah smiled through her own tears and said softly, "Family isn't always about blood, it's about love." Emily had walked into their lives as a stranger, broken and lost, but now she was something more. She was a mother, a sister, a friend. And all it took was one child's pure heart to remind her that even in the darkest nights, love can light the way home. That if this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away, share it with someone who needs hope today. Subscribe to Kindness Vibes for more emotional and life-changing stories that remind us of the power of love and compassion. Drop a comment. Do you believe one small act of kindness can truly change a life? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, sometimes, it only takes one word, one hug, or one moment of kindness to give someone a home, a family, or a reason to keep going.